It may appear that I don't need a procedure, but you don't have to be completely bald to have an ARTAS procedure. This is what I look like without a comb over, and I want hair here. My name is Jim. Even though I have most of my hair, I do have thinning, and I associate it with aging, but more fundamentally, I really want to look and feel my best. There are millions of men in the same situation, and now they have an option with the ARTAS robotic procedure. I am so excited about having my procedure tomorrow because I get more hair. You never really know what to expect in these situations, and I was very pleasantly surprised. I showed up in the morning, of course. I got my head shaved. The first step is harvesting, and that simply is where you take the good permanent hair follicles from the back of your head, and you have to remove those hair follicles without damaging them. The ARTAS system is state-of-the-art. Much like a human being, you have cameras, so you have your two eyes, you have a brain, you have software, and you have a robotic arm, much like a hand. And the software and these smart algorithms are looking at every hair follicle back there. They're analyzing every aspect of each individual hair follicle. It's being looked at 60 times a second. The robot knows exactly the angles, the thickness, the type, the good ones, the bad ones. You're allowing a technology to do this tedious, monotonous motion. Robots do not get tired. They're used to working 24/7. So you get the best of all worlds. You get the robot with extreme sophistication and precision and repeatability doing the heavy lifting, all under the control of a physician. You never really know what to expect. And I must say, it was more mild than I had envisioned. You obviously feel the numbing medication, but after that, I felt nothing. So there's no pain, no discomfort. The chair, I thought, was very comfortable. I wasn't sure how that would be because, you can't sit in any chair for a few hours. Everybody squirms. This was fine. You hear sounds, of course, as a robot is working. You hear that, but it's not a distraction. It's not discomforting. Overall, I think it was actually better than what I would have envisioned. One of the other major advancements with the technology is the ARTAS Hair Studio. The way the consultation is performed today is you will look at before and after photos of other patients, and that's very helpful. But it is not you, and you can't help but wonder, what will I look like if I had this procedure? So you take photographs of you. They are fed into a computer software program. A simulation is done, and we can show you, here's you before and after, here's what you look like if you have a procedure, here's how many grafts. When you have your procedure done, that information is then fed to the robot. So when the robot is making those recipient sites, again, it knows exactly where to make them, how many to make them, and that's how you create this ideal cosmetic pattern for you as an individual. The reason that I selected the ARTAS robotic procedure now is because of the ability to make the sites with the robot. For me, this is a game-changing activity. In my mind, there's nothing more important than creating the ideal cosmetic pattern in your scalp. And each angle and each spacing between these tiny slits are very important because that gives you the best possible cosmetic result. You don't want the hair growing awkward because it's very visible. The ability to create the cosmetic pattern, in my mind, is perhaps the most important step of this entire process, because when that pattern is created, that's what you will get. And also, there are things called terminal hairs. Terminal hairs are the good hair follicles, the permanent ones. You may not be able to see them visibly, but the robot with smart algorithms can measure the thickness and can identify the terminal hairs. You do not want to damage terminal hairs because they're permanent and they grow. So the robot is able to avoid terminal hairs when it's creating this cosmetic pattern. That will help you get the best possible cosmetic result. honestly, a robot can do this better than almost any human can do, and over time will continue to actually improve this cosmetic pattern. I have chosen the ARTAS procedure because I believe that it is the best option for me. I was not intimidated or afraid of the robot at all. I completely trusted the technology and the staff. After the procedure, when I went home, I pretty much watched some TV, was online, doing some work. And when it came time to go to bed, I took one ibuprofen. I slept throughout the night just like I would any other night. I did use a couple of extra pillows to prop up my head at night. The physician and staff strongly recommended that, so I wanted to make sure and do that. But overall, the experience was straightforward. I slept like any other night. I had no pain, no discomfort whatsoever. My procedure was better for me than a typical dental procedure. One of the reasons that I selected the ARTAS procedure is because it is less invasive and I'm able to recover faster than some of the other techniques. And this is very important to me. I will be able to resume my normal activities within just a couple of days. Exercise is also very important for me, and I look forward to my next big 3-mile run.